Welcome to Professional Ethics in Computing. Welcome to week 6. In this week, we're going to focus on professional communication, both oral and written. So, my name is Elvira Perez. I'm professor of mental health and digital technologies. I work across 2 different schools, computer science with you, and also medicine. So my background is very multidisciplinary. I'm very interested in language. And as a psychologist, I'm very interested in what makes an effective communicator. So what makes communication work? So hopefully in this lecture, I will convince you of why it's so important for you as a computer scientist to develop very good communication skills. So I would like you to think about a person, a speaker that you really enjoy listening to. It may be because their voice is very captivating, because what they say is interesting, how they say is engaging. But think about the specific qualities, the specific characteristics that make their communication effective. Yeah? So write it down, think about it. And this is actually the exercise, the homework I sent. So you can see that in Moodle, and I will ask you again in the workshop. I think it's important to share, to reflect on what makes a good speaker. So I'm going to share who I think is a very good speaker. Her name is Hannah Fry. She's a professor of mathematics. She's also a very good broadcaster. She's almost a professional speaker. And the message, the content of her speeches, the communication is all around, obviously, maths. It's about science, technology, and what it means to be a human in this digital world, in the age of machine, she called it. She will bring maths to human behavior and bring maths actually to everything we do. So you really understand how maths, numbers, play an interesting role in basically everything. So why do I like Hannah? Why do I listen? Why do I enjoy listening to Hannah Fry? First, she's very engaging. She will use humor. She will deliver the messages very clearly, and a bit like storytelling. The narratives are very interesting. She will bring personal examples, anecdotes that are funny, and she will combine that with her knowledge. So she's an authority, she's a professor of mathematics. So as a listener, I will trust her, I will respect what she has to say. And another layer of why it's very interesting to listen to Hannah is that she will use very interesting graphics, visual aids, and usually combine with animation what she's explaining. And that conveys the message very clearly, very easily. But something that I think for me is the most interesting thing is that she's a woman. She's a woman in the area of mathematics, and she's so passionate. So that are, again, elements that will make me feel more compelled to maybe enjoy what she has to say. So this is my example. These are the reasons, and I hope you can do something similar on your homework. So I want to talk now about why it's so important in your field of computing and programming, and as a computer scientist, why you have to develop very good communication skills, both orally and written. Well, you will at one point be part of a team, and as you can imagine, effective communication is a basic pillar for effective collaboration. You have to be respectful, you have to listen, you have to convey probably very complex technical ideas to colleagues that may not have a technical background. And this is a challenge, but this is something you will have to work on it, to train, to practice, And you will see the reaction. That's very interesting. When you are a good communicator, you notice that in your audience. People are listening to you, people are attentive, they ask questions, they are engaged. And you will have to moderate the way you talk depending of your audience. If they are very skilled, the technical ability is very high, you can use more jargons, more technical elements, but if they are not, then you will have to modify that. Also, why it's so important for you is that it will enhance your professional credibility, the trust placed on you, on your workplace, but also it will help you for career development and career prospects. People that can communicate really well, they usually are more successful in their careers. This is an interesting survey I wanted to show you. It's in cybersecurity, it's a very specific field of computing, but it shows you when you are looking for, if an employer is looking for a cybersecurity expert, these are the skills that we'll be looking for. But interestingly, in the market, there are lots of technical skill gaps. There are lots of skills missing. And this is a ranking. So the main technical skill missing is security testing. The second one is cybersecurity governance and risk management. So you can see all those skills that could improve. And this is an interesting exercise because when there is a skills gap in the market, the universities are informed and engaged, and they try to basically train the next generation of cybersecurity experts filling these gaps. But more interestingly, there is a 43% of complementary skill gaps. And so complementary, obviously there are less technical skills that includes, for example, communication skills for sales, for clients, for roles that are facing clients. Complementary skills include ability to write well, not only technical reports, but other types of reports to inform maybe the progress, etc. The ability to communicate with non-experts is crucial, specifically when the ideas are technically very complex. And again, another challenge is how you persuade non-cyber or non-technical staff to follow specific policies. And so this is an interesting example because if the communication is not done appropriately, the adherence, how people will follow specific guidelines, is going to be very poor. And in cybersecurity, it's a massive issue. So, what employers want? So the top skill they look for is someone that can resolve problems, strong problem-solving abilities. But interestingly, and that's 38% of the respondents are saying, okay, we want someone with strong problem-solving abilities. But if you look, the next three items, 32% of respondents said, we want always or someone, a candidate that is curious, is eager to learn, it has good certifications, they can prove that they've been trained, but also very strong communication skills. And to me that's very meaningful, that one of the top complementary skills that an employer looks when hire someone to work in cybersecurity are communication skills. So if you look, there is in red, you can see there's some abilities, skills, experience, skills, knowledge. So these are elements that can be trained. You can gain more experience, you can gain more knowledge. And there are skills you can learn, and that's a positive thing. There are people that and you see certifications and qualification is, again, something that is there, but communication is crucial. And the good thing is that communication skills can be trained, or some people are born being fantastic communicators, the quality of their voice, how they project, how they engage with the audience. Others We have to learn and we have to practice. But the good thing is that you can improve both your communication skills, both written and orally. So this is the next step. So what type of communication or types of communication skills you will have to develop? Both are very different written. So you will have to write obviously emails, reports. You are already doing this. You will be writing maybe academic papers, doing research. You will have to write sometimes to read it loudly, yeah? And again, that's it's something in between oral communication and written. So you're writing it to be spoken language. It's an interesting, and I'll give you a couple of examples. In the continuum of communication, they will have oral, so you have presentations, talks, you will be chairing meetings, you will be summarizing what other colleagues are saying, team meetings, network events, etc. So you have your written, your oral, and then in the middle is material that you're going to write, but they are more like pointers for you to give a speech or to convey specific ideas. Yeah, so there's a bit of a hybrid, and each style is very different. So let's focus on written communication skills. Which are the active ingredients that make a nice piece of text enjoyable to be written? Before I start, I need to maybe acknowledge that with generative AI, we are all using specific tools to help us write better, to summarize, to restructure, to be more clear. And I think that's okay. However, we need to be mindful to not de-skill ourselves, not to lose our natural ability or the ability that we've been growing until today of being a good writer, and not to rely too much on generative AI to write everything. So said that, when you are writing, these are the 4 elements that are important to keep in mind. The first one is clarity. Use simple, clear language. Do not offer or think that by using more jargon, more complex words, less frequency words, that it's gonna sound more formal or more clever. Clarity is always key. Be concise. If you can write a 2-long sentence into a shorter one, go for it. Minimum in this, less here is more. Don't use too technical or adapt the technical language to your audience. Sometimes you should be very technical, sometimes less. Structure is so important. Headings, bullet points, lists, but do not rely too much on generative AI, or at least try and have generative AI as a co-pilot to help you improve things, but also work with the structure you feel works best for the message you are trying to convey. Grammar and spelling, make sure you prove it, make sure it's professional. It's not professional to see typos, and we all make typos, but this is a task that may need a little bit more time to make sure the spelling is correct, the grammar, especially if English is not your first language. So which are the techniques you need to be mindful when you are writing? So when you're writing, there are also some additional active ingredients. For example, be aware of who your audience is. To who are you writing for? Is it your teacher? Is it your colleagues? Is it your boss? Is it your clients? And make sure the tone, the style, the intention is very clear and is well measured with who your audience is. The technicality level, so you may be expected to be very technical or maybe not at all. So just be very mindful, be aware of who is reading that specific text. Being professional is always welcome. but at the same time be approachable, not be too formal, too far away, to remove, be engaged, and be open, be accessible. And feedback is really important. If you have the time and the capacity to receive a bit of feedback, that could be ideal. So, when thinking about oral communication, there are also other ingredients, active ingredients. So, for example, how clearly you are speaking. I have a very strong Spanish accent, and I have to often make a little effort because I can see that some people from specific nationalities find it more difficult to understand what I'm saying. So don't speak too fast, neither too slow. Find a moderate pace that suits, again, your audience. Engage. Make sure you are making eye contact. Your body language is so important. How easy you are in terms of moving around, moving your hands, not too much, not too little. Confidence. Practice is what makes us confident, and it helps us to reduce anxiety, to flow a bit better, to be more present and more engaged with your audience. So do never underestimate the importance of rehearsing and getting to a point where you actually feel very confident of what you are saying. So there are other elements when you are speaking. So there is structure. What are you saying and how you are saying it is so important. Usually we need to introduce the topic. We have to welcome your audience. There is a bit in the middle that is the nitty-gritty, is the main body of the main point, and you have to close, you have to reach a conclusion, and you need to let your audience know of all that steps so they know what to anticipate. Visual aids are extremely important. There are animations that are so complementary of what you are saying, and it helps a lot to engage with the audience and to add understanding and learning. Practice, rehearse, practice, and also practice in front of the mirror, practice in front of a colleague. That's so important. Also, the handling question is so important. It's very good practice to listen, to finish the person, even if you know what the question is about. Let them finish. Think well about the answer, think about the structure of the answer, and then go for it, clearly articulating and with positive, open body language. When we're talking in a group, so you can imagine communication varies in one-to-one, one-to-many, in a group where everybody can participate. There are lots of interesting tools. You're probably used to Trello or GitHub. Use them, and there will be new tools, so it's always important to make sure you benefit from fantastic tools that we already have. Very important when you are working in a group is to set goals, establish very clear objectives, who is doing what. And very important, there will be conflicts. How are you going to resolve those? Which mechanisms? The communication here is very, very important. My advice is that if there is any conflict, first talk as soon as you can about it. Usually there is miscommunication, different perspectives. And you will find this when you are writing your report for this module. You will have to create and use tools for all of us, for all of you, to work together, to be editing the same document at the same time. Make sure everybody knows their roles, and this is something we will talk in the workshop. It's important that everybody can start identifying which sections of that report you are going to write, and it's good that you choose sections that you are passionate about, you know a little bit about it, and also the conflict resolution. If there is an issue, what are you going to do about it? That's super important. Okay, so the good thing is that you can improve your communication skills, both oral and written. So practice, and Don't be scared of making mistakes. So we will be practicing your presentation for the debate also in the workshop. I would love to see volunteers to say, look, this is how I'm preparing. And it's okay to make mistakes. We all learn. Actually, failure is one of the best ways to learn. And I hope you feel safe, you feel confident and relaxed to actually share with the rest what you've been doing. But very important, you can improve, yeah? Some people are born with fantastic skills and others where we have to practice a bit more. The homework for next week is as follows. Please think about a speaker that you enjoy listening to. It can be a public figure, a lecturer, maybe a TED speaker, a professional in tech, anyone. And think about the reasons why you enjoy listening to this person. Consider the clarity, the tone, the structure, the engagement, the empathy, professionalism. What is it that this person may have that you find pleasurable and enjoyable to listen to? And then reflect on your own speaking skills. What is it that you already have? What is it that you are missing? Strengths, weaknesses. Where do you need to practice a bit more? So as you know, you have to create a 5-minute presentation about a debate topic. So start thinking, start imagining yourself doing that presentation and start picking active ingredients that you may think can help you. And practice, as we know, is what makes us better. Don't be scared of making mistakes and just go for it. Try to be the best you can when speaking, and why not try to copy or bring ingredients from other speakers that you admire. So I hope you enjoyed this part 1. We're going to focus next in bringing different examples where hopefully I can illustrate better why in computing communication skills are very important, and I will be focusing even more on this specific sector. So please watch the second part and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.